friends, welcome to Cycles of Life podcast. My name is Jana and I'm your host. I'm also a certified life coach. I'm a people professional and just a very curious person who likes to learn things. So welcome to another solo episode. Today we're going to talk about what to do when we feel like we're failing. We're feeling quite lost in life. And this is something that I can definitely relate to right now, so just put it into kind of paint the picture for you. So as you know, obviously aside from this business, I also have a full-time job, so I work in learning and development. But in the last year actually, I've been trying to apply for different jobs within the organisation, and for whatever reason I just keep getting rejected. And I promise you it's not just me saying that, but the reasons are bizarre and they keep changing all the time. So it's not something, one thing that I'm not doing right. It's just for some reason I literally applied for the same job, and first time I got told that I didn't have enough experience, and then 4 months later I got told that I've got basically too much experience. So I'm just trying to explain to you how ridiculous the situation is. I'm normally really good at interviews, so it's quite an unusual place for me to be in. So that's why I thought it would be a really good thing to talk about, because I know I'm not alone, and of course I've been feeling quite down, and that's why you probably noticed that the episodes were not as regular as they used to be, simply because of that. I needed a bit of space, I needed a bit of time, and it was quite hard to motivate myself to do something else outside of work when you're feeling quite down. So that's what I want to talk about today. What do we do? What can you do if you feel like you're failing, that nothing is happening, everything that you're trying is just not working out for you? So maybe you have just faced a huge disappointment. Again, maybe you didn't get that promotion that you really wanted. What do you do? What can we do? And first of all, what I really want to talk about is that all feelings are so valid. You have to feel the anger. You have to cry if you feel like crying. You need to let those emotions do their job. I think it's so important, because often we feel like we have to suppress. It's that stiff upper lip, pretend that everything is fine, but actually it's not. You've hurt, you're feeling hurt, and that's okay to feel those things. And actually something that really helps me is moving my body, and I know it sounds so obvious, but it really does. When I feel like when I have a lot of anger and a lot of frustration in me, going for a long walk, fast walk, is really helpful. Maybe it's the same for you, maybe going for a run, maybe doing a little dance, whatever that is. So moving your body. Even sometimes actually was really helpful if you don't have an opportunity to go for a longer walk. It's just shake. So just shake your hands, stand up, go to the loo if needed, and just shake your body. Shake your hands, shake it off. I mean, Taylor Swift was singing about it for a reason. It is so helpful. So yeah, release that frustration, release that feeling. And again, that's what animals, if you ever noticed, it's kind of like that adrenaline rush coming through your body. So it's important to release it. So yeah, that's something that is very, very important. Don't bottle up your feelings. Let them go out. Cry, scream, shout, go for a run, go for a long walk, whatever that is, do it. Let them out. Next thing that is actually I find incredibly helpful is understanding kind of what are the patterns, what are the cycles that your emotions might go through. Some of you might come across the grief curve before. So it was kind of designed to begin with thinking about obviously people who have experienced grief, where the loved one, for example, has died. So that's why it first came about. But actually, it's very, very relevant to anything else in our life, because if you don't get the job that you really wanted, if you faced a huge disappointment, you will go through stages of grief, and that's absolutely fine. That is so normal. So yeah, this is called the Kubler-Ross change curve, or the curve of grief, what it was originally called. But yes, it's when we go through a change, we go through quite recognizable stages. It will change person to person. Some people might take a bit longer in different stages. Some people might just shoot through some of the stages. But all of us, most of the time, will go through these. So let me talk you through it, because I think it's quite helpful to understand what you're experiencing is absolutely normal. So first of all, of course, we experience shock and denial. We start thinking that's not true. How dare they? That is not what happened. You don't want to believe that. And then slowly this goes into anger. So people often will feel angry about the situation. They will want to fight back. Next stage, it actually goes into bargaining. So that's when you start bargaining for different options. You start thinking, actually, what about this? Oh, what if I sacrifice this? Will I get what I want? So that's where the bargaining is happening. Next stage, we go into depression. So we feel sorry, we'll feel sad. We feel like there's no light out there. Nothing good will ever happen to us. And slowly, we're moving through acceptance. And once we reach that acceptance stage, that's when we accept that whatever happened has happened. There's nothing we can do about it now. We can actually move on. We can move on and we can do something about it. So if you are currently, something has happened in your life and you are in that anger stage or bargaining or depression, just know that it will pass. Give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. Go through these stages because you will get to the other side of it. It just sometimes takes a bit longer. So once you do get to that acceptance stage, what I really like to think about is actually, what are your choices now? What are my choices? Because we always have a choice. We can either be angry at life, all the external circumstances, be angry at work because they didn't give us that promotion, or actually we can start thinking, what can I do in this particular situation? So what my circumstances are right now, what can I do about it? What is in my power? Another helpful exercise to do is called the circle of influence. So you can take a bit of paper and all you need to draw a smaller circle first, then another slightly bigger circle around it, and then final much bigger circle kind of surrounding the other two. So the very first, so the inner circle, that's your circle of control. So these are the things that you can control in your life right now. So that could be your attitude, how you look after yourself, what you eat, what you drink, how you react with other people, your relationships around you. That's the things that you have direct control over. Next circle, so the middle one, that's your circle of influence. So that's what you can influence around you. Again, this will be people around you. It will be your well-being, so you can do things about it. Your sleep, for example. So these are the things that you can influence, that you can do something about. Again, don't necessarily control them, but you can definitely affect them in some way. And finally, that bigger circle, that's the circle of concern. That's the circle that you can worry about, you can be angry about, but there's nothing you can do about it. That's decisions that other people make. That's the structure of your organization, for example, whatever that is. So these are things that you cannot affect. Weather, that's another perfect example. As much as I would like it to be sunny right now, you can't affect it. You can't change it. It is what it is. It's just circle of concern. So it's really helpful. Write down all the things in your life in each of these circles. And then realise, actually, the things that we spend so much time worrying about, they often fall into a circle of concern. There's nothing we can do about it. So we're literally wasting our energy, our life energy, life juice, on worrying about things that we can do nothing about. So I'm hoping this exercise helps you because it's very simple, but actually just helps to see life in a little bit of perspective, really. So then what is really helpful to do is figure out, what are your next steps? What would you like to do? So what would you like to focus on? What are the first little steps that you can take to get there? How can you break those bigger goals into smaller steps so they're a little bit more manageable, so it's easier for you to do? And also start acting now. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait till whatever. Start now. What is a small little thing that you can do right now? Because when we promise ourselves to start something tomorrow, or the next day, or in a week's time, what we're actually doing is procrastinating. We're putting it off. So don't fall into that trap. Try to do one small thing. It doesn't need to be anything excessive. So I don't know, maybe because you didn't get that promotion, now you feel like you might want to look for jobs outside. So what is the first thing that you can do today? probably do some Google search. See what's available. Just so you know what the playing field is like. Maybe you can find a nice template for your CV that you can start working on. Yeah. So whatever that is, doesn't need to be anything dramatic. Just small thing that you can start today. Don't put it off. Start today. And finally, ask for help. There's nothing wrong for asking for help. Maybe you have a really good line manager. They can have these honest conversations. You know they will help you to get through that. Maybe it could be a friend. And again, maybe it's a coach or a therapist. They can help you work through these things. I'm actually currently working with a coach as well through my organisation, talking about my career development, and it's so helpful. I cannot stress that enough to know that you have someone that you can talk to. Honestly, they're there for you. The whole job purpose is to help you, to make you feel better, to help you work through your issues so you can actually move forward as well. It's so liberating. So yeah, these are my steps or practical things that you can do when you're feeling like you're failing or you're feeling a bit lost in life. So feel your feelings. Everything is valid. Remember about the change curve. We all go through these emotions. It's very, very normal. And remember, you have a choice. Again, you can be angry at life, or you can really start thinking about, what can I do about it? What is in my control? What can I change about my life right now? And figure out those next steps, break them down. What are the small things they can start taking today to take you closer to where you want to get eventually? And finally, ask for help. People love helping each other, so ask for help. So thank you so much for listening, friends. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know how you find it. Always love to get in touch with you. So feel free to DM me. You can also email me as well. Everything will be linked below. And make sure that you subscribe and make sure that you follow if you haven't yet. But yeah, have a great day and we'll speak very soon.